Hi, how's everyone today? I'm here with Santi. I'm
Hi.
Jesse. Hi. We're actually the open door girls today. We got together and we're going to have some fun tonight and just kind of explain a few things. It's funny because mom and I were talking earlier, Santi and I should say, but yeah, we are mom and daughter.
I
The
wasn't going to
secret
ever
is out
tell
of the
you.
bag.
I wasn't going to tell you,
Okay.
darn it.
So, anyway, as spiritual sisters here, we actually were sitting down and we were talking together tonight and we were talking and discussing about bees and butterflies. Butterflies has always been kind of not an obsession, but kind of something that's dear to my heart because when I was younger, I actually had a dream, but it was very real. And I am, as you know, very tuned in. I can channel, there's things I can do spiritually now as an adult that I probably could do when I was younger, but didn't face it, didn't open it, didn't have that door or window open for myself. So when I was younger, I had a dream about a butterfly, and she came down and visited me. And it was like she was coming right out of the trees, and she came down and actually winked at me and said, "You got this." And like as she was flying away, I remember reaching up, going, "I got this. What does that mean? Like, what do I got, And it's funny because over the years, I'm thinking my life has kind of been a lot like a butterfly in the sense that, I do take risks. I do kind of try to go with the flow. I like things light and buttery and flowy. And so I feel like, that dream was kind of like a door for myself to kind of see where I am emotionally. And something about a butterfly too is you start out as a worm and you're actually growing yourself internally, and it's you, yourself, and you are a butterfly. You start this way and you create your own being. And I thought that was that whole thing just signifies kind of the way I've grown, as I've gotten older spiritually. And Santi here, she has a little bit of an obsession over bees, which I don't know. I don't think any of us
Oh,
have any
no, none of us have.
obsessions
You have bee and a
over
butterfly
bees.
on there. That's
I've
just.
got the bee and the butterfly
And
going
I
on.
remember this story because she told me it was so vivid to her that she told me about this
Yes.
butterfly arriving.
Now, mom, on the other hand, has a little issue with glue. She loves gluing stuff
Yeah,
on,
I do.
loves bees,
Mm-hmm.
loves that whole concept. So, explain, mom, what your connection with bees
Oh
are.
my goodness. Well, my connection with bees has been for a long time because my husband was in the sea bees years ago, and I just loved those little bees that he had, for cufflinks and stuff, and the pin and all that. And then later on, I noticed I was still doing a bee thing. I had a bee on the wall in my crystal room and a bee-shaped mirrors, six-sided jobs and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. We're gonna name this. We have to name this with something bees. And then we all should be working together and trying to accomplish some cool things. And that's what bees do. And they are sustaining our life. They help us tremendously, which I've talked about before. So I just feel like that's what I always.
grab something, mom. I'll be right
All
back.
right, I always wanted to do something as a group of friends and people and all that.
Sorry.
and
And if you want to look up close, what do you see that's glued on the glasses?
Absolutely.
Would that be a bee?
I think
don't know.
I don't know, but I can't imagine they would have done that.
I don't know who
I mean,
owns
I don't
these.
know.
So there you go, people. A
I,
little
I,
bit.
I can't imagine that would be.
A little obsessed.
Yeah, I just can't. And I've used honey in coffee and other things for years.
Mm-hmm.
Always. If I don't have honey, I'm very sad and upset.
So you got to remember one thing. When you start becoming, I wouldn't want to say obsessed because that's not always positive, but when you start having things in your head and things flying
Mhm.
around and you see things over and over again, there's a reason. There's a reason
Mm-hmm.
why we have a connection with these things. And it could be something as simple as flowers. It can be something as
Yes.
simple as any type of bugs. Or
Mhm.
why do some kids love rats? And rats seem to be scary and everything else. But there's some kind of a spiritual connection that you have, sometimes starting out very young or when you're older. I think it just depends on what you're seeing and why you're seeing it. So, as far as that goes, We all have some kind of spiritual connection to something, and sometimes it changes. Sometimes you start out
Mm-hmm.
loving one thing, and all of a sudden you start seeing more of
Absolutely.
another. And being a medium that I am, when I do readings and things on people, I actually get signals and signs of things that people used to love. Okay, so say your
Yes.
mom used to be a gardener. They usually will give me a sign saying, I love the woods, I love the greenery, I love the flowers. Those things I can then represent or say to the person that's asking me questions about their mom or whoever had passed on. I don't always know it's their mom. I sometimes get that channeling,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
channel in. And sometimes you'll smell somebody's cologne or perfume. Well, that smell is them saying that I'm here. I'm your spirit guide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you always. And that's not always the case with everyone. Some people don't have mom or dad, their spirit guides. You'll
No.
have somebody else, a small
Yes.
child or somebody else that you may not even
Mm-hmm.
know. So, when you're doing channeling and you're getting this different information, those are symbols of people that have passed on that are trying to give you
Yes.
a message. So I always tell everybody, whenever I've done any type of reading, always listen to those signs because they are telling you things. If it's don't go left when you're in your car. People say there's a sixth sense. There is, but there's also a guide telling you don't go left.
Yes.
So listen to what that is saying because it's very important. So now Santi here, we're going to play with some cards. I don't want to say play because they're really good cards. They're spiritual. But she's got some cards here that she wants to pull that I
Yes.
think will.
Absolutely. Well, expand on these ideas.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see what we have now.
And we're pulling this card for today, this evening. What's
Yes.
going on right now?
What's going on
Possibly
right
what's going
now.
on out there or what's going on right here. We're going to get an idea.
Okay. What
All
we
right.
have is love and mothering. And
Mhm.
what this tells me is that, if you haven't opened your heart to compassion and unconditional love, you're missing the boat because you give all these wonderful things to people and energy and all this. That's all going to come back to you. This is what life is about. It's about sharing. It's about building. It's about working together. Hey, that goes back to the bees again. That you will work to be the best that you can and you will share that with others. So it's a positive thing. Let's see what else we
Mhm.
get.
Well, and one thing to add to that is giving should have no intentions. If you're
Right.
giving to someone, it should be out of your heart, not an intention to get something back. The universe will always provide and bless you when you do give unconditionally, but also without intentions. So just to add to that.
Yes. And with the next card, this
Mhm.
is just amazing how the universe works.
Mhm.
This next card is in order to accomplish certain things, we have to do two things. Have trust.
Mhm.
If we have trust, we're not blocked. We don't have our chakras and our systems blocked away from doing these things, from giving and receiving. And we're going with the flow. Keep paddling on. Keep on going.
Mhm.
So that's what the extension of what we just said is you have to have the trust and that the universe is looking out for you, that you have your guides like she was talking about, and give unconditional love and no judgment and compassion to others.
Mhm.
Let's see what else we have. Okay. Okay. Oh my. This is true what we've all been going through. We are going through changes that are massive on the earth and within ourselves. I got where do I put it? Okay.
Let's just see. What does
Yeah,
it
let's
say,
see.
Mom?
Hang on.
Okay, it is 8 of worlds.
Yeah,
Yes, eight of
which,
worlds.
which is Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And this is saying that we are going through changes and we're going to go through more changes. And what the changes are going to do is a new dawn. And it's welcoming us back to our spiritual source. And our spiritual source is what we came in this world with. That's our soul. We're walking with the light now, and it is very challenging at times because the more light you walk with, the more you're tested. And you're tested from the dark side, you're tested from the negative side. and you just stick with it. You just keep on going. Let's keep going and going with the flow. Once you figure out who you are and what you're doing here, it's not that hard. It becomes easier. You're not confused anymore. Take it from me. I've been here a while, and it may take a while to do it, but
a while.
just a little
Not
bit.
too long.
Yeah, I was only 10 when I had her, so I mean, but anyway, so that's what that is saying.
Yes.
Anything you want to say?
Well, and also tonight, it's a very special day for a very special person of mine, a good friend of mine's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday to my buddy Steve, who you might see him on some of our things. He's really helped us, get this whole thing started, and he is brilliant. So I just want to say, a shout out to him and a happy birthday, but also good spirits and good positive energy for all of you who are viewing, and please continue to watch. Mom's got some really good segments coming up about the days of the week, which are phenomenal. Colors, what to wear, what not to wear. So there's going to be
Planets.
some really good stuff that
Some
she's going to be
crystals.
talking about, planets, crystals. So please, keep watching. We're hoping to get a good audience here that's not only entertained, but also too, we both do have a lot of gifts. So we would love to share our gifts. I do mediumship, and she also does cards, tarot, a lot of other things. So, please keep us in your hearts and your minds as well. And,
And
is there anything you want to say?
You will be illuminated. Look at that. You stick with us, we are going to help you get more illuminated, and your chakras
That's
are
right.
just going to light up. Look at that. We're going to get them balanced and so forth. Just hang in there and stick with us. And Steve, you're just a magician. You are full of magic, and you don't think he's doing anything, and it's all done before you've even asked him. He's
Yes.
not really known to be psychic, but he's a magician, and that energy just comes to him anyway. He's just absolutely great. And so we don't understand the mystery behind him, but he has a podcast, and he's quite magic.
He's awesome.
And he's awesome.
Yep.
And I don't know, what do we call the podcast, but
We'll post it.
yeah, we'll get the podcast
Yes.
posted, because he can help a lot of people beyond what we can help, because he has the understanding and has lived that life
Yeah.
in that area.
So thank you all.
Oh,
and
thank you.
We hope you have a phenomenal evening, day, whatever today brings.
And be buzzed, be spiritual,
And
be
yourself.
yourself. We love you. Beehive is here for you anytime.